I've tried this a couple of different ways. I got these R&R speakers from the 70s. They're actually pretty good. And then I got this thing going, and these actually sound better because this is very, very plain. It's actually more. It'd be really good for studio monitors. Actually, these studio monitors are kind of colored. Actually, they're most real good studio monitors actually don't sound great, because they're designed to reveal things in the music so that you can mix it. But anyway, this is really close to whatever. But I'm going to hook this thing up here. I love this thing. This thing sounds amazing. Wish it was in a little bit better shape, but God, I can't remember how much I paid for it. It was pretty cheap. Best one I've ever found. A lot of people don't want to buy them because they're made by Radio Shack, but this sounds better than 90% of what I've run across. So, I've never heard anything that sounded better than a proper 70s stereo system. Stuff nowadays just kind of sounds kind of sterile and neutered. So, anyway, hit this right here. So this thing has a lot of bass. If you don't turn that off, you get the filters high and low, but it's just nice because everything's all metal. You got your weighted tuning knob, so you know it's got some weight behind it. It's pretty cool. I don't know if the covers come off of these. These are really sad. They're like vinyl coated particle board. You kind of like a Marantz type of speaker set up in the back, but they have push connectors. So they had the potential to be really, really good speakers. But the company was only around for a little while, and I believe the drivers and surrounds are all cloth, so they're actually pretty good. Man, oh man, my freaking ears are ringing. This thing is absolutely insane. I mean, my neighbors are probably pissed. But they can go piss up a rope with their barking dog bullshit. Of course, the funny thing is, they could call the cops on me for having my stereo. Guess who'd get in trouble? I can call the cops on them for their dog, and they won't do nothing. But anyway, I blasted this thing really loud to where when I turned it down, I'm like, my ears are a little funky. So these speakers, I don't know what they're rated at. I don't know what this thing's rated at. This thing is definitely not 100 watt per channel. I don't even think it's 90, even though it's called an st-90. But like I crank it right here to about halfway, and you know, I got it to like right about like, I don't know, 2 o'clock position, and it was you know, pretty damn loud. It was probably going to start to break up a little bit, but you know, it's a pretty loud radio. So it's got a ton of low end. So like if you got speakers that don't really sound bassy, it'll make them sound bassy. And what I did was I turned off the loudness. The high and low filter actually really does work, and then I just kind of fiddle with things a little bit, but this is something else. I know my friend Kevin's got one like this, like maybe a 95 or an 80 or 85 STA. I don't know who made these, but I mean, it looks kind of like inside look like a Hitachi or maybe even Harman Kardon or something, you know, just really kind of hard to tell. But obviously Radio Shack didn't make them, so somebody else made it for the company. And I mean, it just sounds really good. I had a couple of other ones that were also very good. I think the other thing I had was a Sherwood from this time period, and the Sherwood actually was very good too. It had a broken speaker switch, so this actually is quadraphonic, but anyway, the Sherwood I had was very similar to this, maybe even that's who made this. But these kind of stereos, they just always sound good, and you know it's kind of heavy, so you know there's some transformer in there. When you see the ones like that look like this, you pick them up and they're really light, and maybe there's a plastic covering in the back. Like I had somebody really wanted it too. What the hell was it? It wasn't a Marantz. It was a Sansui, but it was so cheapy, plasticky. It sounded really good, but it was just like, no. It was like 30 watts, 15 watts per channel. So a lot of these are very underrated. They put out a lot more power than they're rated at. They rated things differently back then. Now it's all just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. You know, everything says 100, 125, 150 watts per channel. Yeah, and if you drive that thing anywhere near its full potential, it's just going to sound like piss. But anyway, just having fun with this thing. I guess we should probably do some ham radio related stuff here soon too. These speakers here, I got nowhere to put them over here, but I would love to just sit here and listen to them. But I find my studio monitors here are really great for just low audio, and you know, I can turn them up and I don't think anybody's going to get upset. So anyway, but these here, that's a whole nother story.